The soundscape of Korean cities. One of the most interesting things about visiting a new city is the soundscape, or how the city sounds. For many people, language defines a city's soundscape, particularly if they do not understand the language or languages spoken around them. The soundscape also includes announcement, digital notification, traffic noise, and various sounds of nature. What, what then is the soundscape of major cities in South Korea? The easiest city to start with is Seoul, the largest and the most dominant city in the country by far. In the late 20th century, Seoul was a fairly noisy city. The subway system was not as extensive as it is today, and the city relied heavily on buses, many of which were noisy. Traffic jams completed with frequent horn honking were common. The streets were more crowded, and the population was younger, which raised the volume of the city. Though talk and laughter, Chongno, Iga, and Shincheon, for example, were full of energetic university students. Markets, particularly neighborhood markets, were more crowded and boisterous. There were more babies and children, so crying and the sound of play were more common in neighborhood alleys and back streets. Today, Seoul is a much quieter city. Traffic is still busy, but it moves much more smoothly and quietly. Children are fewer, but also not as visible in the cityscape, except for apartment complex playground. Once the booming areas like the Chongno-iga and Sinchon are no longer popular and much quieter than in the past. Not everything about Seoul is quieter now. Music in the late 20th century was largely indoors, but nowadays shops frequently play music outdoors to attract the young customers. The blend of music coming from shops creates its own unique form of K-pop. The volume of indoor music, meanwhile, has remained constantly fairly high, but more places now have the ability to offer music. Digital technology has also made it easier to send out audio announcements, which, except for subways, were rare in South Korea in the late 20th century. Now, audio announcements are everywhere, including outdoors, covering an ever wider range of topics in greater detail. The sounds of the digital revolution are everywhere, most noticeable in the beeps of notification. Sometimes a beep nearby calls people to check their phones, and the ubiquitous katok sound are now embedded in the soundscape of Korean cities. By law, cameras on Korean mobile phones are required to produce a shutter click, which creates a burst of clicks when people take pictures of the same thing.